Liverpool win the Carabao Cup. Everton are docked 6 more points. And we got another big week in the Premier League fixtures coming up. You're watching Foot and Mouth. Welcome back to Foot and Mouth. Ethan, how you doing?
I'm good. I just got back from the gym. I don't know if you could tell, but I don't usually dress like this. But we've been very inconsistent.
We have been inconsistent.
Do you want to say why?
Look, I was sick. Ethan definitely addressed that one. Escom actually had something to say about the last episode we wanted to
And
film.
also Logan had a bad neck.
And Logan had a really bad neck
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Damn, yo. Could barely look left or right. But look.
The show would have been Logan just sitting.
Maybe we should have done it.
We should have done it.
But yeah, a lot has happened, as is usually the case when we do have. It's the only pro to being away for so long. But yeah, a lot's happened. Ethan, where do you want to start, bro?
We can start with the light shit. Rio Ferdinand said Saka's not world class. What do you think of that? As an Arsenal fan, you probably disagree.
I disagree, not so much, because I would have agreed with him if he didn't say it kind of the way he said it.
And the way he said it was in the argument that Foden is world class and Saka's not.
And not only that, but by his words also, he was talking about Saka not like getting enough goals and stuff in the Champions League and what.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
They've never played there. Yeah. So
and on top of that, what's he doing this season? Because you'll call Jude Bellingham world class. Saka and Bellingham are level on goals in the Champions League, as far as I know. I think maybe Saka has more even in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like by Ferdinand's own metric, he has to consider Bukayo Saka world class.
No, look, the tough thing is saying someone's world class is very subjective.
I guess. I mean, look, if we're going just off of numbers, you'd say Ollie Watkins is world class at the moment. But
Yes, but no, even that though, like I there's some people that would argue that Haaland's not world class. They would argue that like Kane is, but Haaland isn't.
Yeah.
Because of the way they play.
It is subjective.
It is very subjective. But in my eyes, the way I see it is, would this player start in any team? If this player would start in any
the big clubs, especially
in literally any team, and I think Saka would start in any team,
any
right?
club, bro. I think the only club you could say there's question marks is Real Madrid.
Yeah, because of Vinny Jr. and stuff. But
Literally.
even then, I kind of would start Saka. So I would say Saka is world class. I kind of would say that Foden's not really world class.
I think Foden is world class. I genuinely think he is world class because of the fact that he's been doing it.
I'm also a big Foden hater. I mean, look at the dude's face. Look at his haircut.
He's got a very punchable face.
I'm
But
big
what a
Foden
baller.
hater. Yeah, ball.
What a baller, bro. Like, but I look, yeah, when Ferdy said those comments, it did set me off a little
Did
bit.
you call him Ferdy?
Ferdy. Yeah, he doesn't get a full name now. But that's not the only thing that he said that was outlandish. What else did he say about Mikel Arteta?
There was a quote I saw that he basically said that Arteta would go to United.
Which,
Again, I think this may be, I didn't know the context.
Clickbait.
This may just be clickbait. This one is probably a lot more like in jest and in fun than the other comment, because this comment makes absolutely no sense.
yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Like, all due respect to Manchester United, they are who they are. But I don't see a world where Mikel Arteta picks them to manage over
He
Arsenal.
might go to Man City at some point.
That would make more sense. He's at
Yeah.
least got roots there. You know what I mean?
But yeah, even as a United fan, there's no chance in hell that dude's going to United.
Would you
Yes,
want him there?
Yes. Is that your question? Yes. Yes, obviously I would want him. He's definitely a good coach, but
Yeah.
I think at this point in United's life, we kind of just have to stick it out with ETH, let him sit at least for a couple of years.
A
But
couple of years?
I know we don't tend
What,
to
this
do
is
that
his
anymore.
second season, yeah?
Second season, yeah. I know we don't tend to give managers a lot of time anymore. But
No one does,
No one
really.
does, but I think Ten Hag needs a lot of time with it.
Let me ask you this. Considering someone like Thomas Tuchel's available right now.
We should mention that he was fired at
Yeah.
at Bayern.
Thomas Tuchel, that clearly failed. Getting rid of Nagelsmann to bring him
Yeah.
in. It bombed in there with Harry Kane
Here's
even.
the thing, though. I think Bayern may be in the same or in a similar spot as United.
Yeah.
More so United like 2 years ago when they were
Yeah.
when they were going through like
They've got no direction.
when they were going through Mourinho and
Why
Van
did they
Gaal
sign
and,
Ben Davies, bro?
and to a certain extent even Harry Kane. Like
Harry Kane, I think the goals he's scoring currently, it
Yes,
makes sense.
Yes, but it's similar to like United signing those 30-year-old players just because they were 30 and could do shit.
Ronaldo did have a screamer of a season.
and so
in
is
his
Kane
own,
now.
And so I do love that Harry Kane is putting in all this work and he's not going to win a trophy.
Well, maybe. But look, I think they have a bigger issue. And I think Nagelsmann also, like, to a certain extent pointed it out because apparently the board have their own way of thinking about how the team should play, and it's been different to how Nagelsmann thought, and I'm sure it's different to how Tuchel thought as well.
That's why I know some people were very surprised that Tuchel took the job, because the reason he left Chelsea was because of the fact that Todd Bowley was too involved as an owner. Now you go to Bayern, and it's the exact same thing. So it was like, well,
again, though, I think the name of Bayern kind of, I think that's
and he's German.
I think again, it's exactly the same as
goal.
It's exactly the same as United. Why did all these coaches go to United, even though it's a sinking ship?
Its name is its name.
The name is the name, and I think everyone wants to be the manager that changes this team. A team so big,
then you technically go down in history.
Exactly, but I think they're literally just in a very similar boat as United. They kind of need to rebuild that whole thing, and that's also going to take years.
Yeah,
from the top down, the board needs to change, managers need to change, players need to change. Literally, what United is doing now, currently, Bayern Munich needs to do.
I will say this: I do think Harry Kane at least gives them another 2 seasons. I think he gives them another 2 solid seasons.
The Bundesliga is easy as shit.
But it's just easier when you've got a Harry Kane. They really aren't missing Lewandowski anymore, bro.
No, for sure. But I'm saying a fall off in the Bundesliga isn't as noticeable as a fall off in the Premier League. United go from winning to fucking 5th. Bayern Munich are going to go from winning to 2nd.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because the only
maybe 3rd.
Maybe 3rd.
Either way, they're not missing out on Europe.
And if it is 3rd, there will be war. Bayern fans will commit murder.
The Bundesliga is a very friendly fan base though. I mean, I know that's one of the leagues where there's no real dividers between the opposition fans in the stands, because there's not fights and stuff. It's not like Turkey.
They're all just shaking hands on the border.
Just aggressively.
I'm a Dortmund fan.
But yeah, would you take Tuchel at United? Let's say come the end of the season, things haven't really turned around.
There is almost no one I would take over Ten Hag, and I don't even like Ten Hag. I stopped liking Ten Hag as soon as he kicked Ronaldo out, and then I stopped liking him more when he kicked De Gea out.
You're just more in a sense of, for the sake of the project,
yes,
stick with him.
You have to give this dude time. We can't start this whole thing again. We can't get a new man. We don't have the money, firstly, to pay Ten Hag out of whatever contract he has left, and then get a new manager in, and then have a new manager be like, I actually want this player. I want this player. We don't have that money. We've built this team several times. The team as it sits is a conglomerate of 7 different teams all in one. And I think that's partly why we're failing.
And Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire still...
Yeah, well, look, we'll get into that. Staying in the news, though, Dani Alves, 4 years in prison for... Can I say it? Rape?
I guess you answered your own question, bro. Yes, he has been... I actually had it here. He was convicted of it. Yeah, in 2022 and sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. On Thursday, he was sentenced, and he will appeal.
I just want to bring up one thing. Do you think those guys who threw the bananas at him feel hella fucking justified?
No, because if someone is being racist towards a rapist, you're still a racist.
No. 2 wrongs make it right.
You're still a racist.
If you are allowed to be racist to rapists.
This is not the topic we were supposed to be talking about. But yeah, I want to know: does this add to his CV? Is this an accolade? Is he even more so the most decorated player
I still can't believe that he actually is. That
bizarre.
It makes no sense to me.
But when you think about it, he was there at Barcelona for their prime years, and he was at Brazil.
I know, but even so, I still never rated the dude. And now I feel justified.
Barcelona were pulling 3 trophies a season, bro.
I know.
That was stock standard. You know what I mean? They were on basically what Man City is now.
But I'm going to say that's more Jordi Alba than it is.
Maybe it's more Busquets, bro.
Yeah, I think it's more Busquets than
your favorite,
Dani
you know what I mean?
But yeah, I've never rated Dani Alves, to be honest.
The only reason I've always loved him is because he was a master of the dark arts, bro.
I know, maybe
and on top of that, look, he was a hell of a player. Going forward, defensively, okay, I didn't pay much attention to him defensively, but going forward, he was beastly, bro.
Yeah, he was pretty good going forward. And I guess,
but it's horrible. It's horrible what he's been accused of, and if he's guilty, then chop.
Have you seen they were Brazil players, Neymar and others who were you gave him money to pay for some of his to pay for, what's the word?
Legal stuff?
No. We watched 60 Days In. How do they get their food and shit?
Oh, that's they send him money for that stuff.
What's it called again? The fucking
confectionery.
Yes, it is close to that. The commissary.
There we go.
So I think Alves.
That's a lot of commissary, bro.
A lot of noodles, tuna, toothpaste. He's set. But soap. But
Damn.
look, I think some of it may have been for like legal stuff as well. But I think some of it was just for like commissary
I'm
shit.
curious because would they have helped him like this if they believed he was guilty, or do they not
Yes.
care that he's guilty?
They don't care that he's guilty. Both.
That's messed up.
They would have helped him even if he was, and they don't.
Because
care.
I thought, look, after the Greenwood thing, remember all the United players unfollowed him on social media. They all cut ties with him immediately.
Yeah, but I think that's different because Brazil. Like, I don't know.
Then again, look, Neymar, there's a lot of question marks around that man's
I know,
intentions.
exactly. And also, to be fair, if Greenwood was like a England legend, maybe we would have seen different. You know what I mean? Like
guess.
Danny Alves is kind of
But
loved.
remember, the nail in the coffin was Marcus Rashford unfollowing him, bro.
Yes.
That was when Marcus did it. Everyone knew.
Unfortunately, though, Neymar hasn't unfollowed Danny Alves.
That's what's weird. Like,
Well, look, Neymar don't care. I don't think
look,
they
he's
care.
been convicted,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
don't
assuming
think
they've
any
got
of
they've
them
got
care.
enough on him.
He's their homie. They probably Danny Alves probably told them some story about how this bitch did him wrong, whatever.
They should care. And you know what? This is what's wrong with men in this day and age.
Go off, love, go off. Now we're going to pride this. We're going to pride this.
We're
week.
going to pride this
Logan's
weekend,
about to
yo.
go off.
You better be there.
And then lastly, Everton minus 6 points. So it was supposed to be minus 10. I guess they found a way to turn that minus 10 down to minus 6. So I think they are like 15th in the log or some shit now.
Let me actually pull it up. I pulled up the table here. They are now 15th, yes. But can I ask, like we've been toying around with the idea the whole time, champions this season, bro?
What do you mean?
Everton? Remember the last time they got that point deduction?
Yeah, but that was 10 points.
That was 10. This is another 6 now.
Now it's 6 points.
This just hurts.
Yeah, they don't care. This isn't enough to motivate them. No, but this
Tough. It's tough.
Is this separate from the other 10 points they had deducted, or is that 10 points turned to 6 points?
No, as far as I know, it's the 10 points plus a new 6 points.
Okay, because Nottingham Forest are also supposed to be charged at some point with their shit.
Yes. And that's bad news for them because they're 17th currently.
I think in the relegation fight, Nottingham Forest will be in it. We will be there.
I think they'll get out of it though.
Yes, I think
I'm surprised Brentford's-
but they will be in it. I still think the team that's
Well,
gonna
yeah,
get-
look, at this point, it's going to be very tough for them to not be in it.
look,
bro.
Sheffield will be relegated. Burnley will be relegated.
Yeah. And then it's just a question mark. over
Luton
who's
look
the-
decent.
It's incredible that Everton are still low-key clear.
Looking at those teams there, Luton look decent, Nottingham Forest look Brentford look decent, Everton look decent, Bournemouth look decent.
Nottingham Forest, okay, yeah, they've been in some
It's only
up and
Forest.
down form, bro.
They had to get a new manager. It's been
Yeah.
down and down.
Brentford has been in some bad form.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll start picking up. But yes, so minus 6 points, it's better than 10. Whether they will do anything with it, no, but I don't think they'll get relegated. So that's cool.
Yeah, I guess. It remains to be seen. I would
they
be
won't get
surprised if they...
They won't
Yeah, they
be.
shouldn't. They absolutely
No, they
shouldn't.
won't be.
If they do, then I think that's going to be the first time people will start saying, like, a team that got relegated, like, bottled it. You know what I mean? Like, if you bottle the relegation battle.
Well, speaking of bottled it, Liverpool beat Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final.
Chelsea's best chance, and they just had a bunch of kids in front of them, eh?
Well, look, that whole kids quote I don't like because
Chelsea's also a young
yeah,
team.
Chelsea. I think Chelsea's median age is younger than.
I think it's just a matter of those Liverpool players have so much less game time under their belt,
Yes,
bro.
that is you can't argue about that.
And Keller in goal, which will put in man of the match. I think
man
that I know Van Dijk got it. Obviously, he got the goal.
Yes.
But Keller, man of the match.
No, Keller's been surprisingly good. I think
Is
he's
it
been,
Keller?
Kelleher.
Kelleher.
He's been a bright spot in this team with their injuries.
So many. What's it like? 7 people
Yeah,
out, bro.
they've got a lot of shit going on. But yeah, obviously the Gary Neville quote, £1 billion bottle jobs or whatever he called them.
Chelsea.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Absolutely valid, bro.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm a firm believer. The more money Chelsea spend, the more I hope they fail
Look,
because
this is this team's first final. You can't
It took
And
fair,
they
well
came
done.
close.
They made a
Yeah.
final. They made a final.
they
You got to
made a
give them
final.
credit there. And Jurgen Klopp himself said he knows more than anyone else about losing finals because
Yeah.
he's lost that many. So I'm not downplaying them in a sense of they lost it. Well, like wow. But I mean more. those players should have absolutely won that game when you consider the lineups.
And to be honest, even watching the game, they had chances. I think up until probably like the end of the first,
should have, bro.
The end of like the game before it went into OT, they looked like they were winning. But you see, Pochettino said that I think he said that they were playing for penalties when OT came in.
I think Pochettino is honestly stressed and he is talking out of the side of his neck, bro. This dude, I don't think he knows which way he's up right now.
No, look, I think Pochettino, similar to Ten Hag, as shit. Even if you think he should give him time,
he needs time.
You literally have to.
This is his first season.
Yeah, you have to give him time.
I've said he needs time to trim this team. He doesn't need time to say, just let him work with it. He needs to get rid of a lot of players because only then will these players at Chelsea start to get a lot more confidence. Because for now, there's 7 Owens that can play in my position. If I slip up, bro. Whereas if you have a transfer window and you see a few Owens go out on loan, a few Owens get sold, and you realize, coach wants me. That could be a difference maker. Right now, I think there's too many question marks. I think, look, fair play to them. Like we said, I think they, in the 90 minutes, they deserved to win.
They should have won.
In the 90 minutes, they should have won.
And it kind of only got worse because the subs that Liverpool had to make were much worse than the subs that Chelsea had to make.
Chelsea they had so many luxuries in this game, bro. Yeah. But Liverpool are playing on such passion right now. Obviously, it's Klopp's last season.
Is losing a final bottling it? Is losing a final against Liverpool?
I think again, the only reason I think it's bottling it is just because it was far from Liverpool's strongest team.
But it's still Liverpool, a team that
I get
that. I mean, you look at the senior players. You got Van Dijk, you got Andy Robertson. The senior players that are there have done a job.
I absolutely get that, but again, we do absolutely have to take into account the cost of that Chelsea team. At the very least, you should win a Carabao Cup.
You think in your first season?
Not so much in your first season,
well,
this isn't this team's first season.
But the coach and the team together, it's their first season.
I'm not gonna lie. I do think the Carabao Cup is important.
Yeah.
I think reaching the final of it and losing it is not as important. If you win it, fair play. If you made it to the final and you didn't win, but you played in the final with your strongest team and you still didn't win against a team that definitely didn't play their strongest team, I think that's bottling it, bro. I think even if it is your first, because of the fact that it's the Carabao Cup, it's a cup that, as much as I will say it matters, it really doesn't in the grand scheme of things.
Here's the thing, though. It does kind of matter, and it started mattering because City just kept winning the league over and over again. So this was the only thing that other teams could win, or one of the few only things.
Just because to win a trophy before the season even ends, but that's a massive morale boost.
But up until, like Pep said, Ferguson didn't give a shit about this. I think up until recently, when City started winning the league season after season, and there was not much for anyone else to win, only then did the Carabao Cup kind of become more important. And I think it still is that. I think it still is important to win it. Like when United won it last season, I was fucking stoked. It is cool to win something, especially when it's so fucking hard to win anything.
Yeah, dude, the Carabao Cup absolutely matters. Like I said, there's a ton of people who say it doesn't matter, but I think it matters. And again, I think just because of the fact that Chelsea needed this so much more than Liverpool did, bro. I know Liverpool, this is Klopp's last season. Liverpool are still in the FA Cup. They're in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. They've got another run there. Chelsea are not winning this FA Cup at all.
Yeah.
They have no chance of winning this FA Cup.
We'll get into the FA Cup, but Liverpool's next round is against United.
Yeah, but the thing is, when they play United, some of those players are going to be back.
The thing is, hopefully some of United's players will be back too.
That's true. But again, with this Carabao Cup fixture, Chelsea needed this because there are too many doubters right now. They needed, if they could have pulled off a win here, I think this at least gives them a few less headaches.
Yes, obviously.
You know what I mean? Obviously. They needed it. Even if Liverpool lost, everyone would have just said, fair play to the kids.
Yeah.
That's all they would have said. They would have said, this kid has played 3 games this whole season and he put in a decent job, blah, blah, blah. That's all. Chelsea, they needed to win this because they were favourites, bro. That's the only reason that I put it down to bottling it.
I still think Klopp, in his final season, a Liverpool team that has won so much in a final, in a cup game against this inexperienced Chelsea
I think
team.
you can probably count on one hand how many players in that team are actually players that have won anything that played in that game.
Yes, but I could probably count less on the Chelsea team.
Okay, fair.
You know what I mean? I could count not a single person on the Chelsea team.
I'm more using it as an example, like pointing at experience. Because I know that those Chelsea players haven't won anything necessarily.
And the experience I'm looking at is a coach who's in his last year who's won everything, and a coach who's in his first year and has kind of had to make a makeshift team about what he's got.
I guess, but this makeshift team has played together enough times. That Liverpool team, that was like the first time they all played together.
Well, yes, completely yes. But
In
they've all individually come on and played.
I guess. Look, I understand if someone doesn't think that Chelsea bottled it, because I do think it's a harsh term. I do agree it's a harsh term. The only reason that I would say it's a bottle is just because they had all the expectations on them. Bro.
They did, but that line is going to stick with this team forever now. Because it's gonna be the same players and the same coach, and
they're gonna have to get over this hurdle.
They will literally be called the £1 billion bottle jobs for the next couple of years until they win something.
Shout out Gary Neville, bro. I do like that it rolls off the tongue nicely.
Yeah,
bro.
it does.
And again, it's music to my ears. You cannot buy success. I hate that it's happened before, and I'm glad that it's starting to come to an end now. Now, so I think that about does it for the news. Yeah. What else is there?
That is the news. We can talk about United. We lost to Fulham in the Premier League,
and that was shambolic. Shout out Alex Iwobi.
What's this Craig David song? We're singing, I'm walking away. But I'll say this much: Højlund being injured kills us completely.
No attacking thing.
There is
nothing in the final third.
And again, I know he's just one dude.
But
this one dude has single-handedly carried us. Remember, he's scored 6 in 6. He's the youngest player to ever do that. And again, in those 6 in 6 games, one person has assisted him. Casemiro assisted him once, and it was by accident. It was a tackle.
Every other one, he made his own.
And again, in that time, he's also been assisting other players. Remember, Garnacho's been feeding off of him. Rashford's been feeding off him.
Yeah, shame that Garnacho and Højlund dynamic was actually starting to look quite promising to me.
Again, though, as soon as you lose that one player, we've lost other players too. Martinez is out; he's a big part of it. Luke Shaw is out as well.
That's not new though. You guys have played without Martinez and Shaw forever.
Yes, but again, I've seen people saying that Luke Shaw's injury prone and he should go.
It's a bit harsh.
I don't agree.
Good squad player. I think let him retire.
Let him retire. I remember at one point last season, I was saying he was the best left back in England.
Every season, that dude comes close to becoming United's player of the season.
I know.
Every season, there's a patch he goes through where everyone, and then what happens? An injury.
Look, he gets injured a lot, but
he gets injured at crucial periods of the season. That's the problem.
But also, I think it's tough when when he does play, he's expected to play every game because there's no other backup. Malasia's been injured.
No, I think not that true that as well, but also. He is really good on his day, bro. Like, you would want him to play. Even if you've got a backup, you don't want to rest him because United haven't built up enough momentum to really...
we don't have a backup. Our backup is playing Delo on the left back, who's not a left. Yeah. Our backup is playing Amrabat or Lindelof as left back.
And unfortunately, you guys can't afford to try that out and get punished for it. Like, if Ten Hag does go, you know what, this kid's been showing some promise in training. Let's put him in fullback. We can rest Luke Shaw. No. If you guys end up getting hammered, all the fans are going to be like, why did you play that kid?
Well, look, to be honest, I don't think Reguilon was that bad. I think we should have just kept Reguilon until the end of the season.
That's true. And also, look, I mean, you guys are obviously, I guess you're forced to. Who's that youngster that was in the back line? That youngster at United in defense? Yeah, that dude. You guys have used him a few times. And he's going to have to be playing now. Yeah, I just mean more like he does use kids. It's just when he's forced to.
Yes.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that shows that. He's overplayed.
He is overplayed.
I don't think he's ever really allowed to fully recover whenever he comes back.
Yeah, and that is part of the issue. But look, hopefully Malacia can come back because I don't know what Malacia's done. He's played 2 games and he was out for 9 years.
He's young also, eh?
He's very young. But look, Shaw also, what's tough for Shaw is he kind of helps Rashi on the left. They have a nice overlap system, whatever. You're going to get none of that with Lindelof or Amrabat playing at the left back. There will be absolutely none of that. But yeah, let's go over the team firstly. There was a dude named Forsen who started because we don't have players.
Shout out Forsen.
Shout out Forsen. But so we basically set up with Rashi up top, Garnacho and Forsen, and it failed because Garnacho is selfish, Rashi is selfish, and Forsen's new. And Forsen is fucking 12 years old, so they're not gonna pass to him. So what do you get? You get a 1-0 loss to Fulham. What I would do, and I said this as a joke at first, start McTominay up top.
Yeah.
I know it's...
And maybe now it's time with the injuries.
Yeah, I think, well, again, though, we might see them just try and do Rashford up top all the time. Because even though Rashford doesn't, he has said himself, he doesn't like playing there.
They insist.
But yes, I know McTominay isn't a striker. but I mean, golly, the dude's good in the box.
Yeah.
So let's just put him up front for a game, see how bad it is. Or how good it is.
Pause.
That did sound a bit weird. But it was one of those games, as a United fan, you know it, where like basically from the beginning, it's done.
Was a 97th minute winner though for
yes,
Fulham?
it was.
But yeah, every United fan that I heard, they were saying from the first half, they expected a loss basically.
Yeah, you could tell literally from the beginning. And as a United fan, this happens a lot. United tend to play like this, where from the beginning you can just see their heads aren't in it. But Harry Maguire at least scored a goal in the shit. It was 2-1.
And honestly, it should have stayed 1-1.
Yes, but I mean, look, even the Harry Maguire goal though, they were like it was almost offside. They were we kind of got lucky with the one goal as it is, to be honest. But look, Bruno has been terrible. So like so far this year. Like, I don't think he's had a good game this year.
Not a good calendar year.
From the beginning, I don't think he's had a good game. But again, though, he's the captain, so he plays every game. He never comes off. What I would like to see is maybe a new captain at United. But again, the question is, who the fuck would it be? Mentality-wise, maybe Varane, but he's also old and he gets injured all the time, so it can't be him. There's no one.
That's like a rock and a hard play situation.
Unfortunately, there aren't many options at United because of the only like real senior players that like a normal person would think, like Casemiro or Varane.
Normal person?
Yeah, I mean like a normal and fucking normie. But obviously, they'd say Casemiro because he's won everything, he's played for everything, whatever. You could say the same.
He speaks English.
I'm sure his English is decent.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm sure it's decent.
Fair enough. He's been there long enough.
He's been there long enough. You could say Varane as well. He's won everything. He's got so much experience. But again, Cassie's kind of rash with the tackles and Varane's kind of injury prone. So they kind of both go out.
Just give it back to De Gea, bro.
Yeah,
even though he's not playing.
I'd give a lot of shit back to De Gea. No, to be honest though, Nana's been pretty good.
He did have a good game.
He did have a really good game. But to be honest, the only like the people I would look at are weirdly enough the youngest. Like I think Højlund's got the right attitude. I think Mainu's got the right attitude. They're kind of willing.
Soon. They don't need that. They don't need that pressure.
I know, but those are the only physical options right now.
You wouldn't go McTominay?
No, I wouldn't go Rashi. I wouldn't go Garnacho. I wouldn't go Anthony. I wouldn't go Bruno. I wouldn't go
Eriksen.
No, he doesn't play. He doesn't play. Mount hasn't played a single game.
Mount needs to play more, bro.
I would honestly, literally go Højlund or Mainu because he doesn't play. They seem to have the right mentality where they will play basically every game, and also they kind of keep their head down and fight.
You know what? I agree with you. It's ideal for the captain to like play, but I'm weirdly okay with the idea of a captain who isn't a regular starter.
Go there.
No, like genuine, because again, I think there are some players who their biggest asset may not necessarily be their ability on the ball, it's just their influence on the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's not ideal. Like I said, it's not ideal. If my first choice is not, let's make this guy who's an average player the captain because the players listen to him.
Yes.
But I just mean, I don't think it's a train smash if your captain is someone that is a rotational option.
No, it's not a train smash.
It's just not ideal.
But it can't be Johnny Evans and it can't be Varane. Literally, everyone else is out of the question. The only options...
Hello.
No. The only options are Bruno, Varane, Højlund and Mainu. And the other two are like 20.
Honestly, I think...
I would give it to Højlund. I think Højlund has I think he has a solid mentality. The fact that he hasn't...
got an assister.
No, the fact that he hasn't just like murdered his teammates for not passing to him, that shows you that up top he's solid, bro.
The Hollywood side of like me, of the fan of me, wants to see Mainu get it and like thrive with it, bro. Just because he's English.
Yes.
He's a youngster.
Yes.
He's exciting, bro.
He's exciting.
I honestly think in the season that United have had so far, with the ups and downs, this kid has been a constant. He's had one bad game.
Yeah, he has had one.
Like
bad
one
game.
bad. You can genuinely say he's had one. And yeah, he hasn't played many games, but
I was gonna say he hasn't played.
I
many
think
games.
when he's good, he looks so good that outweighs that one bad game, bro. Like,
but look, we still have issues in midfield. I don't know if you saw that old Jamie Carragher thing where he pointed out that United kind of does two game plans where the attack will attack super high and the defense So we're basically playing like a high press, but also a low
Didn't
press.
Carragher and Ten Hag get into it?
That's
bro?
what I'm thinking of. So Carragher, and again, as a United fan, you probably reckon that the same thing was happening last season when Casemiro was left in the mid alone every single time because Bruno goes up, because Fred goes up, and they leave Casemiro alone. That still kind of happens.
A one-man wall.
That still kind of happens now, even with Mainu and Casemiro. Mainu's a bit too young, and also he didn't even start this game. But we basically, there was at one point like a couple of games ago where we were like second for like high pressing.
Yep.
So we pressed real high, but then
all the stats were showing like it's working. There was just no end product.
we pressed real high, but again, you have to remember our centre backs are fucking Varane and Maguire, who are slow as hell.
Yeah.
2 30-something-year-olds who don't have any pace on them.
What could be if it was Varane and Martinez like consistently, bro?
So that causes the defense to play lower because Maguire and Varane cannot. If somebody sends a ball over them, it's gone. They're not going to catch them. So they have to play low. The mid has to play high to win the ball. So we kind of left completely open in the middle. Yeah. Like I said, same thing happened last season, and Casemiro was the only man in the middle who had to defend everything. That still kind of happens. I don't know why Ten Hag's getting butthurt about that because. It's
just the fact.
It's just a fact. Yeah, like you don't need to like.
It wasn't like scathing criticism like that. It was just he pointed it out, bro.
I think a lot of United fans have said the same thing. I think a lot of non-United fans would have been able to watch one United game, and you will see it happen in the Nottingham Forest game. There is no mid. The ball will go from their defense to their attack constantly because there's no one in the mid. So we did lose to Fulham. This is Fulham's first win at Old Trafford in 21 years.
Another unwanted record set, bro.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Because speaking about like the way United want to play and the players they've had available to play in that way, right? I obviously
Dr. Seuss rhyme.
I don't watch United in like week in week out like you do. But have you seen Ten Hag able to play what you would consider is absolutely your strongest 11 yet since he's taken over?
He did it a couple of games ago. Remember, we've gone on a 4-game win streak.
So you think that if Ten Hag has all the players available, you think there's no problems there? You think what you see when he does play with the full strength, you are super happy with?
No, but there's less problems. So which is better.
I guess. Yeah.
It's not perfect, but again, we went on that 4-game win streak. Because we had Martinez and Casemiro and Luke Shaw for the first...
You had a defense.
Yeah, for the first 2-3 games, we had them there. Slowly, they all got injured. And now we don't even have Højlund anymore.
So if that was the case, then you would say that it would be more... Like, the players would pretty much be keeping the manager in a job then. But
well, the players are always keeping them in a job. If we do well, manager stays. If we do piss, manager goes. Unfortunately, the manager always takes the blame. Even though at this point, we should be looking at the players.
I
Bruno
agree
ain't done shit.
I don't think that the manager is always to blame, for sure. I agree there.
No, especially with United. These same United players have played for 2 or 3 managers and have gotten all of them fired.
Yeah.
But yes, unfortunately, we do play Man City next.
Yeah, so you haven't seen much to give you confidence going into this derby.
No, and the reason for that is the game in between Fulham and the City game was an FA Cup game against Forest where we did win.
But not comfortably.
We scored in the 89th minute. Casemiro scored a header.
It was away from home, but still...
It's Nottingham Forest. And yes, players are running injuries. Bruno was seen limping after the game. There was talk that Varane was injured. Obviously, we don't have Luke Shaw, so Amrabat had to be there. I think we started Lindelof and Varane today because Maguire's also injured now.
Today?
Yesterday. The game was yesterday. But yeah, I think we started Varane and Lindelof, which isn't ideal. Yeah. Onana had a great game though. Onana genuinely man of the match.
Honestly, that's a consistent. Even in United nowadays, he's not the one you're really picking at anymore, which I think is a really good sign.
It is a good sign.
It's a very good sign.
But again, he's played for world-class teams. He's obviously a good goalkeeper. He just kind of had a weird slippy spell. But yeah, look, we didn't look good. We played Rashford up top again. I actually think Anthony was our best attacker.
Wow.
Yeah, we played Rashi up top in the middle, and again, the kid's throwing his arms. He's complaining. You can see he stops running. He doesn't work. We lose the ball. Yeah. And again, this isn't new. This is the same Rashi. This is the Rashford that's been playing all season. This is the Rashford that gets paid 350k a week.
Yep.
Who's our highest paid earner. And then you have people like Wayne Rooney, who are like, oh no, you need to comfort him. You need to lift. He's bro. The dude's 27. He's not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
He's literally not a kid. He's 27. He's a senior player. He should be one of the players helping out Garnacho and Mainu. And
True.
we can't be having to keep this dude in place because emotionally he's not there.
Yeah.
He can't be throwing his arms up. He can't be not running. The bare minimum is run. We had fucking Weghorst.
Hey, well, speaking of Rashford, he's spoken out against people like you.
Yeah, because he actually mentioned us directly by name, foot in mouth. Rashi, you are the highest paid player in this team. You cannot be crying about dumb shit like social media, dude.
And
I'm
he's
sorry.
A MB. He's a MB. What's it? What is he?
What does that mean?
He's got that. I'll Google it now. I forget he got something because of the work that he does for the community and whatnot.
Oh shit! Well, what a nice guy.
Lovely guy.
Yeah, what a nice guy. But look, no, we didn't look good against Forest again. We had fucking huge gaps in the mid. Attacking wise, I would say we were better. We had good chances. I would say we had better chances than they did, even though they had a lot of chances. Onana had to come in and save us up.
Yeah,
but, McTominay had chances. Rashi had chances. There were chances. We could have essentially won this game like 3 or 4-1. We didn't though. We won a 1-0. But yeah, there were a bit of weird calls as well. A Rashi penalty call, a red card which may have should have been called because the dude put his hands on Bruno's neck.
Yeah,
but
and
again,
you always see two United players. Is it 2 United players or just Casemiro?
Just Casemiro. And again though, we are United and we are trying to find any fucking way to win against Nottingham Forest. Yeah. Like, I know we have players injured, but it's Nottingham Forest. We should be dominating them.
And some of those Morgan gives wide passes.
I know. They cut us completely through. And again, that does...
Forest possibly could have won this.
Easily they could have won this.
If Onana didn't have the type of game that he had in goal.
Yeah, but no, look...
All culminates towards this weekend.
Some players were good. Delo was good. Not everyone was bad, but golly, United...
But also, not everyone's going to play the City game because, like you said, Bruno limped off.
Yeah, knowing Bruno, though, he will find a way to play that game. But yeah, so look, we beat Forest. And I think now we play Liverpool in the next round of the FA Cup.
Yep.
I don't even want to think about that.
Things keep looking up, bro.
Hopefully Hoyland's back by then. Hopefully someone else is maybe back by then. So, look, we'll take each day as it comes. I'm never going to completely discount United.
Of course.
Except for this week against Man City. Now let's get into it. We're playing Man City. It's at the Etihad.
That's your biggest...
The last time we played them, let's remember, we played them to a draw. We somehow got a draw out of them. At Old Trafford. So it's not completely
a lost
cause, but it seems like City are shooting close to their full
informed
potential.
Team going into this game. Haaland is the informed striker in the world.
They won.
Scored 5 in the FA Cup.
In the FA Cup, and before that they beat Bournemouth. The thing is, they beat Bournemouth 1-0 in the Premier League before.
Yeah, they were tame. They was very tame.
And Haaland was looking rusty, but look. Again, though, he's coming back from like injury and shit. He
scored 5 the other day, bro. So clearly the rust is gone. He's shaking it off.
But yeah, I think I still don't think City is as good as they were.
Not at all.
Not at all. But they do seem to have players coming back like John Stones. John Stones is so good.
Yeah.
Genuinely don't like this kid is so good.
He's not a kid anymore.
He's not a kid, but I like the way he plays in the mid as well. I think to a certain extent maybe Pep selling Gundogan
was a blessing in disguise.
Was done with the thought that Stones would take his place.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, Stones has been injured for a lot of the season.
It is nice to see a season without Man City trying to sell him somewhere.
I know. But like that to me, that would make the most sense because he kind of did start being a centre defensive mid, and now with we've seen Rodri he can score a goal.
True.
So maybe
he could get a bit more forward.
Maybe the plan is to bring John Stones is let Rodri kind of like free roam a bit more than he usually does because we've seen he can score a clutch goal here and there.
Yeah.
But City. They beat Luton, what was it, 6-1 or some shit?
I didn't see I just heard Haaland scored the 5.
It was either 6...
We got knocked out by Liverpool, so...
It was either 6-1 or 6-2, but yes, Haaland scored 5, KDB got assist, whatever. I think this could be embarrassing for United. Just judging by...
You expected another hiding.
Judging by how shit's going, like, we're going to talk about fantasy at some point, maybe not this episode, but at some point... it's actually kind of tempting to captain him against United rather than Saka against Sheffield. Yeah. It's kind of tempting because United are defensively we look terrible. Terrible. We look terrible. And
defensively, it's going to be such a makeshift back line.
Dude, and even like in the midfield, if Bruno's out, we got McTominay starting. We got
Eriksen, who just got criticized
big time.
Oh.
So look, this as a United fan, I'm never going to count this completely out, but this could be like 7-0.
Damn.
This could be like 7-0. This could be tough. But
your actual prediction? 1-1.
6-0. Oh! No, look, I do think City's going to win. It's at the Etihad, but I think hopefully United can defend, and actually defend well. Even if we just pull a low block, I'm fine with that. Just defend.
Yeah.
I'll go City 3-0. 3-0.
Yeah, in Hoyland, you had said you don't think United.
No, if Hoyland's still out, I don't see us scoring, dude. 3-0.
Look, I think it's tough
at the Etihad,
but I do understand your reasoning behind it, and I think, look, this is down to circumstance more than anything, bro. It's down to circumstance more than anything.
City are starting to fire.
If anything, Man City winning this game is kind of like a write-off for United. It's kind of just like a cool move on.
It is. At 100% is.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. Look, meanwhile.
Wait, so you're also predicting City win?
I'm predicting City win.
What do you think the score's going to be?
I think City is going to win 4-0. I think 4-0. You made me a believer.
Yeah, I did.
But, look, let's get on to greener pastures. The informed team, if we're being real about it.
Dude, it's like amazing form.
Arsenal, brother.
Amazing form.
Obviously, no FA Cup action to talk about, but we did absolutely smash Newcastle, and we gave out one of the best first half performances I think football has seen, bro.
Yeah.
It was sensational. Newcastle couldn't do a damn thing, bruh. On the ball, off the ball. At half time, they were probably choking in the changing room, dog. It was insanity. Like, oh my gosh. Obviously, there was an own goal for Botman. If you've got him in the FPL, I'm sorry. I know a few people have had Botman before, but Kai Havertz missed a very, very, very easy chance, but made up for it by getting a goal.
And look, if we're talking players coming in, we got to talk about Jorginho.
Man of the match, bro.
The passes that dude was making, the way he was able to hold up the mid, he was so calm. He's
literally starting to show exactly why he was nominated for Ballon d'Or. At least why he was voted the men's best player in Europe.
No, look, I think if he's part of Arsenal's depth, golly, that's insane.
Absolute
I don't know what Thomas Partey is doing.
Well, apparently Thomas Partey is back. It's Gabriel Jesus that's the new big worry.
Yeah, Jesus has also been on and off the bench. That's the thing.
Can I say, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's another thing. A lot of people give a lot of leeway to a lot of clubs for injuries. We've been nailed by injuries all season.
We've been having it.
Like, I'm just saying, when you consider going into the season, last season, Thomas Partey was easily our most important player.
Yeah,
we've been without him for this whole season. He's played 3 games this whole season.
Yes, but again, though, you did buy 100 million defensive midfield to kind of take his place.
Just because we've got him doesn't, again, we need the depth.
Yes.
Just because we've got Rice doesn't mean that we don't need Partey.
No, yeah, for sure. But again, I think Jorginho adds to that depth. I don't think, obviously...
I agree.
Obviously, Partey, if everything is perfect, Partey is there. But I think, obviously, we've seen he's not that needed. He's not completely vital to the squad.
I think if we honestly play a few games this season in the midfield of Rice, Partey, Odegaard, we walk over teams, bro.
Yeah, but are you walking over teams now?
Exactly. Could you imagine when Thomas Partey was there in a worse Arsenal midfield? Thomas Partey was absolutely world class.
I don't think Partey, judging by what I've seen, I don't think Partey is that much better than Jorginho.
Oh my gosh.
I think starting a midfield of Odegaard, Jorginho and Declan Rice is just as good as Partey, Declan Rice and Odegaard.
I think the benefit to Partey is defensively is better than Jorginho. Yes, but he has more pace than Jorginho.
But again, Declan Rice will be doing most of the defending.
But that's why the idea with Partey being there is that Partey becomes the holding midfielder, Declan Rice becomes the Xhaka number 8. With Partey being able to stay back. Right now, Declan Rice has to be the one to stay back all the time.
I would kind of rather have Jorginho do that stuff than Declan Rice.
And look, I like Jorginho there. But again, in terms of how we play, a lot of people always criticize Jorginho's pace. I love that he can play around it.
Yes, but if he's in that middle spot, he doesn't need the pace. Declan Rice needs the pace behind him.
So far, and like I said, I think my biggest the thing I'm most happy about with Jorginho's form right now is that we aren't missing Partey anymore, because at the back of my mind, even though Jorginho has
I'm
on and off
literally
been
not even
doing
thinking
well,
about Partey. Arsenal killing it
I
without
can't
him.
lie. Every time I see him, I still think, imagine Partey was in this team. If Partey was in this team, I think absolutely we take this title. Without a doubt, we win the league.
Well, look, he still is in the team.
Exactly. We just need to get him back into the starting 11, bro. And look, it looks like we are moving towards that. But I love that without him there, and I think more concerningly for Jesus at least, we are scoring so many goals.
A lot of goals.
Like, when Jesus is fully fit, I don't think he walks back in, bro. I think if Jesus is there, we score more on paper. But when you consider how this team is currently clicking, why would you want to change anything? Do you know what I mean?
Do you still think Arsenal will win the season? Will win the league?
Honestly, yeah. I think that Man City game is going to be the decider. Whoever wins that Man City game.
What about Liverpool, though?
Liverpool, I think what's going to count against them is...
They've shown they have depth. I actually think they have more depth than Arsenal do.
Up top.
Everywhere.
Up top.
Conor Bradley, everywhere.
No, up top. Again, if you look, we have Tommy Asu. Tommy Asu is better than Conor Bradley.
I don't know. Have you seen the assist that Conor Bradley's gotten in the few games he's played?
I think that's just new player bias. You forget that Tommy Asu is such an experienced... There's no way in hell that Conor Bradley is a better player than Tommy Asu.
Right now, I think he is.
Only because Tommy Asu hasn't played for weeks.
Yes, well then that's the argument. The argument's done. The one has played and he's played very well. The other one hasn't played at all.
Tommy Asu even coming in cold is world class on his day, bro. I think Conor Bradley is young. He's exciting.
He's not getting like 3 assists in a game as a
okay, I guess they're different fullbacks then. Tommy Asu is more defensive. He's not a... I'm talking about Tommy Asu's the dude that when we won that FA Cup, he was the one that absolutely pocketed Mo Salah.
Yes.
If you can pocket Mo Salah, Conor Bradley's not pocketing Bukayo Saka.
No, but he is scoring and assisting goals.
Not maybe against Arsenal. Have you seen our defensive record currently?
No, for sure. But again...
Whereas defensively, that good defensive record for us just continues. You throw in Tommy Asu. I think depth-wise, Liverpool have more.
My argument isn't Arsenal versus Liverpool playing together. I'm saying generally playing against other teams, Liverpool will score more goals than Arsenal will, because they are a lot more.
Haven't we currently got more goals than Liverpool?
Yeah, maybe.
Or it's equal?
Yeah, maybe it's equal, because I think Liverpool also won 4-1 against Luton or some shit.
Yes.
So it may be close, but I think in long term, I think Arsenal is going through a very nice spell now.
I love Conor Bradley.
I just think we haven't seen enough from a lot of Arsenal subs. Smith Rowe, we haven't seen a lot of. El Nini, we haven't seen a lot of.
Arsenal fans have seen enough of Smith Rowe because 2 seasons ago he was our joint top goal scorer for the season.
What's he done this season?
This season he's also been plagued by injuries. But again, the reason we are so frustrated by these injuries is because we know how good they look. Even while he's injured, Tommy Asu just signed a new deal.
Yes.
Because he is that good a player.
Yes.
Like, Smith Rowe is that good a player. He just needs to get a run. Smith Rowe ended up winning the England was won the under-21s World Cup, I think it was.
Yes.
And Smith Rowe played a key part in winning that trophy.
But that's not for we've seen Harvey Elliott do for Liverpool, get assists, get goals.
And we've seen Smith Rowe get 10 goals in one season. Yes, at the age of 2019.
My whole argument is currently, right now, in this exact moment. We sit here, we talk. In this exact moment, we've seen a lot from these Liverpool subs. We haven't seen a lot from El Nini. We haven't seen a lot from Smith. We haven't seen a lot from, who else I got? Fabio, Vieira. We haven't seen a lot from him.
I guess.
We've seen a lot more from Curtis Jones. We've seen a lot more from Harvey Elliott. Even fucking Endo, that Asian defensive mid.
I guess.
That's my argument.
Again, I still think it's all absolutely new player bias. I think we are excited by these players because, wow, look at him coming out of nowhere and putting in a performance.
It is current bias. But again, we are playing currently. Games are happening currently. We can't look 2 seasons ago and say Smith Rowe from 2 seasons ago.
To each their own, but I still think most of our subs.
I do think Arsenal have a better starting 11 than Liverpool. But I think the depth is where Liverpool kind of kills it.
Again, that's where we'd agree to disagree. We would agree to disagree. I still think, I think the title's going to be decided in that Man City versus Arsenal game. I think absolutely it's going to be decided there. We obviously drew with them earlier. No, Arsenal. Oh no, we beat them. We beat them earlier in the season. We've been in a good run of form against the top 6 this season. We haven't lost, which is really good for us. But that Man City game's absolutely going to decide it. But before Man City, before we can even think about that, we got to think about more goals, bruh. Because, we smashed Newcastle 4-1. Obviously, Joe Willock scored the goal, the consolation for Newcastle.
Look, to be fair, Newcastle look dog shit.
Like Alexander Isaac was non-existent.
That whole, to be honest, everyone in this game, it was all Arsenal. From the beginning to the end, it was it was all Arsenal, and it gets worse because Newcastle had to start Karius. They didn't even have Dubravka.
True.
Weirdly enough, though, Karius wasn't that bad.
He had a decent
I don't
game.
think it was that
I know
bad.
that we scored 4.
Yes,
but
also one of them was an own goal.
True.
Like I don't think Karius was bad at all, to be honest.
That own goal was bizarre.
I know it was crazy, but they do need Pope back ASAP.
True.
They need him immediately. But
they need the Gia.
yeah, they fucking yes.
But no, brilliant game.
Look, I think though Newcastle kind of maybe have to just rise off the season, eh?
Yeah.
With the injuries they have, I think they kind of just need to be like, season's done.
If anyone should be worried about Thomas Tuchel's availability, it's Eddie Howe.
I think Eddie Howe.
Could you imagine Thomas Tuchel at Newcastle? That makes a lot of
That
sense
does make
to me.
a lot of sense, but Eddie Howe's been so good. He was so. I know they obviously overperformed last season to get into Champions League to finish 4th.
Yeah.
They're obviously not going to finish 4th this season. That's
No, I think they don't get Champions League again.
that's out of the question. But you don't think he's good enough to get them back there?
I've been a very staunch supporter of Eddie Howe. My issue is,
And also, he's English. He's English.
but my issue is Thomas Tuchel is available. Football is a business. At the end of the day, that is an upgrade. I don't care, and I'm all for having faith in a manager. I'm all for it. Thomas Tuchel brings you a player profile that Eddie Howe can't, because players know Tuchel and they trust Tuchel and they want to play for Tuchel.
Yes, I totally get that. But what's also tough is Newcastle FFP wise aren't as big as like Chelsea or United.
That is true.
So that's always, they are almost progressing faster than structurally what they can do.
Yeah.
They were not supposed to be in Champions League. There was no way this team with these players was supposed
Almiron
to.
And all that.
There was no way. And again, I think that's why. Remember, this season they were looking to sell Almiron. They were looking to sell Trippier. They were looking to sell Bruno G. Because I think they kind of need to just stay where they are and slowly grow. Last season they kind of went too fast, too quickly.
Slow progress better than no progress.
But yeah, I think with that being said, Eddie Howe, you gotta keep him. He's clearly got something with this team. He's clearly done, clearly, Logan. I know Tuchel's a good.
I said, I agree, and I love loyalty. What I'm saying is Arsenal missed out on Jurgen Klopp because they decided to give Wenger another year, and it blew up in our face.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that Wenger stayed. I'm disappointed that the club didn't go, we know better than the fans. And look, to be fair, Arsenal's very different back then.
Yes.
But again, I think speaking as someone who saw his club miss out on an opportunity like that, this could be something that absolutely helps Newcastle further that progress.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
It could be.
If they stick with Eddie Howe, it's well deserved.
Go with the loyalty. Stick with Eddie Howe. He's
well
gotten you
deserved.
this far.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does.
Go with the loyalty. United stick with Rashford up front.
We'll stick with ETH, not Rashford.
Yeah, so look, to close things out, as I was saying, we've got more goals to look forward to because this weekend, boy, oh boy.
You're playing against the team that's conceded the most shots in the season so far.
I am so excited.
And it's Arsenal at top form with players who have kind of had a race now because there's been no FA Cup for them. Yeah, this is going to be a slaughter.
Only downside is it's a Monday game, so don't get to enjoy it over the weekend, but bruh, this is good. It's going to be insane. It is going to be absolutely insane.
It is at Sheffield's home.
Obviously, I could absolutely come out of this egg on my face.
Yes.
I could come out of this like with a Sheffield bizarre 2-0 win. Do you know what I mean?
Or Sheffield could just low block and maybe Arsenal win 1-0.
Oh, it's a 0-0 or something bleak like that. Yeah. But going into this, I mean, we've scored 28 goals in the last 5 games.
I'm pretty sure that's more than Sheffield have done all season.
It is ridiculous how we are playing. And what I'm happy about most is that every season, we always at some point have a few games where we show this insane press and then it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
It's not disappearing this season. And I think we are peaking at the right time because for the most part, this whole season, I think we've been in no more than second or third gear.
Yeah.
I think obviously considering the goals we've scored, we've clearly kicked things up a notch. Yeah. And I didn't see it coming. I thought, okay, cool, this season is a learning curve. You got the new players in, we don't look as good as we did last season. All of a sudden, that narrative is flipped on its head.
But again, the only new player that's come in is really Declan Rice. Everyone else, and Havertz. And to be honest, Havertz...
And Kivio, I'd say, considering Zinchenko's injuries, Kivio's had to... Do you know what I'll say? Our January transfer window, it was so underwhelming when it happened. Because in the same window, we
Didn't
got
you sign
Kivio,
Timber?
Trossard, and Jorginho.
Didn't you sign Timber in that window?
No. We got Timber in the June window,
Okay.
the main summer one. But in the January window, we got Trossard when we wanted Mudryk. We got Jorginho when we wanted
Caicedo.
not
No, you
only
got Declan Rice,
Caicedo, we wanted Declan Rice as well, yeah. And we got Kivio, who no one had heard of.
Yeah.
You look at all three of those players now; they are solid options.
Those are solid options, yeah.
We spent next to nothing on them.
But
I mean,
again-
Jorginho, we spent I think 10 more.
Yeah, no, that's a good deal, especially when you look at the other midfielders that Chelsea
Bro.
sold, like Kovacic and Mount. But
I don't think
look-
I don't think Jorginho starts this weekend just because of the fact that it's Sheffield and we can go with a hell of a lot more energy and pace. And I think he should start based on form. But I think this is a weekend, especially if Jesus is available. I know his injury is being managed now, but if he's available, you go with the Havertz, Odegaard, Rice midfield again. But
yeah.
dude, I think however Arsenal line up,
Yeah, it's done.
literally however they
fucking
line
done.
up, bro, it is going to be.
What's a number? You want to put a number on this bitch?
4, bro?
It's probably gonna be like 4-5.
6-1.
No, eh?
I'd say
6.
6-1.
You're going 6.
I want to say 6-0. Yeah, I'll go 6-0. 6-0,
No,
brother.
look, defensively, Arsenal have been tight.
Yeah, we haven't been bad away from home as well.
David Raya hasn't had to deal with much at all.
And when he's being called on, he's done decent.
He is, and I even think distribution-wise, he's been very good.
Now look, okay, I'll say 4-0. I'll say 4-0. It's away from home. Fuck, dude.
I don't think that matters.
4-0 in one half, bro.
Yeah, I don't think
Like-
that matters. I
I'm
think,
gonna say 6-0. Let me be outlandish. I'm gonna say 6-0. Go with your gut.
yeah, I
Go
kind
you
of
got.
agree. I'm gonna go 6-0 as well. I think Arsenal slaughtered them.
6-0, brother. Look, you guys go with your guts and hit that like and subscribe button. We are inconsistent, but we are at least somewhat consistent. We drop a video a week.
Yeah, somewhat consistent.
At some point in the week, a video will come out.
And also tell us who you think wins the Manchester derby. I know it's kind of a done deal, but hopefully there's some United fans there with more faith than me.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot.
Yeah.
And I think fair play to them, bro. Like you said, you never really want to count the boys out. Thank you guys for watching the show, and we will catch you in the next one.